Today's devotional is intended especially for couples. Wednesdays are going to be like that, and for the next several Wednesdays, we're going to be looking at and studying Ephesians chapter 5, and we're going to be talking about walking in love. Take a look at how Paul starts off the letter to the Ephesians. He says, "Therefore be imitators of God as beloved children, and walk in love as Christ loved us and gave himself up for us, a fragrant offering and a sacrifice to God." And we'll come back to some of these other verses, but I'm going to just scroll all the way down here to the end of the chapter where he gets really specific with wives and husbands. And in verse 25, he says, "Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, that he might sanctify her, having cleansed her by the washing of water with the word, so that he might present the church to himself in splendor, without spot or wrinkle or any other blemish, that she might be holy and without blemish." And so what we see, what Paul is doing is he started off at the beginning. He was saying, be imitators of God, walk in love just like Jesus did. And then down here he gets very specific, and he's saying, husbands, you have to lead the way in this. You need to love your wives specifically the way Christ loved the church. How did Christ love the church? Through sacrifice. He sacrificed for the church so that he could sanctify her. This imagery that he connects Christ and the church to the imagery of a husband and a wife on a wedding day is an amazing image. And it really underlines this principle that we talk about at Alpine. Every time we counsel with couples, whether in marriage or in premarital, we always talk to couples about this first marriage principle. It's the foundational marriage principle that comes from the Bible. Marriage principle number 1, love is a choice, not just a feeling. Our culture says love is about feelings, but the Bible says love is about choosing. Jesus didn't feel like going to the cross. He chose to go to the cross. He didn't feel like sacrificing himself. He chose to sacrifice himself. And husbands, if we want to walk in love, we need to follow Christ's example. I encourage you to, if you need to talk more about this, maybe as couples, if you want to spend a little bit more time on this, you go to our website, and under the Keep Building tab, you pull down where it says Pursue Truth. The sermon archives, one of the archives options is called The Vow, which was a marriage series we did a few years back. And if you click on that, it'll bring you to this page, and it has the vow sermons you can choose from. You can't watch these, but you can listen to these as a couple, maybe on your next date night. And the first one to listen to is this right here: I vow to choose love. You can hear it from me or from Steve. I encourage you to listen to that if it's been a while, and really to put into practice this first marriage principle, that love is a choice, not just a focus. Now maybe you can close your time together in prayer and pray this in particular: God, help me to choose love.